Just in case. Congratulations on a job well done. I've kept the half that are missing. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Northeast, please.
Yes, sir.
The late film next week on BBC One is Two-Lane Blacktop with James Taylor and Warren Oates in the story of a trans-American car race. That's next Wednesday at 10:25. And this is the lineup for tomorrow evening on BBC One. We reveal the latest scientific developments destined for tomorrow's world at 6:55. That's followed by Top of the Pops at 7:20 with studio guests including Bronski Beat, Alison Moyet and Elaine Page and Barbara Dixon. Malcolm and Sheldon provide more humour from the front line at 8 o'clock, and there's a new series of A Question of Sport with team captains Bill Beaumont and Emlyn Hughes starting at 8:30. At 9:25 after the news, Robin Bailey and Michael Aldridge star in a new comedy thriller as Charters and Caldecott, the epitome of English gentlemen with a passionate interest in cricket, which not even murder is allowed to interrupt. Robin Day's guests in Question Time at 10:15 are Anne Burdess, Denzel Davis, Malcolm Rifkind and William Rogers. And we end Thursday evening with a new American comedy series with Harry Anderson as a most unorthodox New York judge in Night Court at 11:15. Now, with the weather prospects, here's Michael Fish.
Good evening to you. It still is certainly a very wintry tale everywhere, not only in the British Isles but over the whole of Europe as well. I suppose in a way we should be pleased by the fact that in Britain we had some of the highest temperatures around today, whereas in the Mediterranean temperatures in places stayed below freezing and they had another packet of snow. The weather's going to stay cold and unsettled in the next few days. In fact, that area of low pressure is going to work down into the Mediterranean, perhaps bring them some more snow. Closer to home, it's this area of high pressure that's going to be important. That'll be drifting in very, very gradually from the west to settle down on top of us for the next few days, keeping the weather cold. But I think after tomorrow, once we get rid of these northeasterly winds, we're going to find the weather becoming dry everywhere. But we're going to have an additional hazard. We're going to keep frost, of course, but we're going to have a fair bit of fog around at night, and some of that may well linger throughout much of the day. If we look at the picture for midday tomorrow, you can see that area of high pressure snuggling down on top of Scotland. That's where it'll be for a day or two. Don't take too much notice of that cold front moving across the southeast, although it might introduce one or two wintry showers. But as far as tonight's concerned, it's the old theme of a very cold night everywhere, a widespread, quite sharp frost. The temperature at least to -4 degrees centigrade, perhaps in one or two places falling even lower. I think these coastal areas will escape the frost, and they'll have 1 or 2 showers coming in from time to time. Along the east coast and in the north of Scotland, the showers wintry, but probably not wintry over in the west. But the main thing in central and western parts is that it's going to be, once again, a very misty night and a fair bit of fog around before the night's out, and that fog dense and, of course, freezing just about everywhere. Tomorrow morning, that fog will thin away very slowly, but it is going to be a slow process, and in 1 or 2 areas, just like today, it could stick throughout the day, and temperatures will remain below freezing as a result. But in most places in the western half of the country, once the fog's gone, it'll settle into a generally dry day with some hazy sunshine, although it'll still be quite cold. Perhaps the odd shower close to the coast there. And eastern parts, although the day will be bright with some sunshine, there will be 1 or 2 showers around, although in eastern Scotland I think they'll tend to die out as the day goes on, and any of those showers could be fairly wintry. Well, that's all for now. A very good night to you.
Among the items in tomorrow's afternoon show at 2 o'clock on BBC One, Barbara Dixon and Patty Coldwell will be taking a look at the statistics on smoking, which point to women now being more at risk than men. There's also a report on the muscle cult and an interview with Ken Bruce, the new incumbent of Wogan Seat on Radio 2. And while we're on the subject of Radio 2, there's still an hour of entertainment in the company of Brian Matthew, and round midnight, followed by Wednesday's Night Ride with Bill Reynolds, which will be starting at 1 a.m. But with the time now coming up to 8 minutes past midnight, from all of us at the Television Centre and from BBC One, good night to you.